Hello nerds, today we're swinging into action because we have 3 Spider-Men, 3 timelines, 1 legacy, that's right. We are taking a look at every Spider-Man movie before No Way Home unites them all. Sam Raimi, Mark Webb, John Watts, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Before the multiversal madness, there were individual brilliance. So let's start at the beginning. Tobey Maguire, 2002 to 2007, the classic. What better place to start than where it all began? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies are the classics that started it all. In 2002, we met your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Peter Parker, an awkward but lovable nerd, gets bitten by a radioactive spider and suddenly finds himself with amazing new abilities. He attends a wrestling match with his Uncle Ben, played by the always amazing Cliff Robertson, where he witnesses the death of his uncle. This tragedy pushes him to take his new powers seriously and learn the famous lesson, with great power comes great responsibility. Tobey perfectly captured Peter's transformation from a nerdy underdog to a powerful superhero. The first film also introduced us to one of the best comic book villains ever, the Green Goblin. Norman Osborn, or as he is known later, the Green Goblin, played by Willem Dafoe, is a force to be reckoned with. He starts off as a charming and charismatic businessman who adopts the alter ego of the Goblin after being exposed to an experimental formula. The whole love-hate relationship with Mary Jane and the dance scene, can you feel the chemistry? It's so palpable. All this builds up to an epic confrontation between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, leaving us on a cliffhanger. But don't worry, we'll get back to Mary Jane. Spider-Man 2, 2004, widely regarded as one of the best superhero films ever made. It delves deeper into the struggles of balancing everyday life with extraordinary responsibilities. When Peter temporarily loses his powers, he feels lost and turns back to MJ, revealing his secret identity. The iconic train fight is both visually stunning and emotionally charged, showcasing the lengths Peter will go to protect those he loves. Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus was perfect casting. Doc Ock starts as a brilliant scientist and ends up as a tragic villain after a lab accident leaves him with metal tentacles and a thirst for revenge. The emotional core of the film lies in the relationship between Peter and Mary Jane, whose engagement is called off when Peter believes he isn't worthy of her. In a heartbreaking moment, he reverts back to his nerdy self, leaving Mary Jane confused and heartbroken. But by the end, she discovers the truth and realizes that it was Spider-Man all along. The sequel is not only a thrilling superhero adventure, but also a touching exploration of love, loss, and the importance of embracing one's true identity. Spider-Man 3, 2007. While the third installment might not be as critically acclaimed as its predecessors, it still has its moments. This time around, Peter Parker juggles his personal life, career, and superhero duties while dealing with the unexpected arrival of his emo cousin, Harry Osborn, seeking revenge for his father's death. Enter Sandman, portrayed by Thomas Hayden Church. Initially an antagonist, Sandman's backstory adds layers of complexity and raises questions about the nature of good and evil. Venom, played by Topher Grace, is the other major villain, born from a symbiote that bonds with Eddie Brock, a photographer seeking revenge against Spider-Man. The film's climax sees a team-up between Peter and Harry, leading to a satisfying conclusion for their character arcs. Although some aspects of the film might not hold up today, it still serves as a fitting end to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy. The Tobey Maguire era gave us the blueprint: heart, responsibility, and memes that will never die. Next up, it's Andrew Garfield's turn. Andrew Garfield, 2012 to 2014, The Untold Story. After the success of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, it was time for a fresh take. Enter The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield as the new Peter Parker. This reboot offered a darker, more modern take on the beloved character. In The Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew's Peter is a quick-witted and charming young man who uses his newfound powers to help others. The film introduces us to Gwen Stacy, played by the radiant Emma Stone, who becomes a significant addition to the Spider-Man canon. Their chemistry together is undeniable, and their relationship becomes a central focus of the film. But it's not all sunshine and roses. The Lizard, played by Rhys Ifans, emerges as a formidable villain, posing a threat to both Peter and the city. As the story unfolds, Peter must confront his own inner demons and learn to embrace his role as Spider-Man. Now let's talk about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Where do I even begin? The film throws us right back into the action with a bang, reuniting us with the electrifying duo of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. But wait, there's more. Enter Max Dillon, aka Electro, portrayed by Jamie Foxx. Max is a troubled young man whose life takes a shocking turn when he becomes a human conductor of electricity. On top of that, we've got Harry Osborn, aka the new Green Goblin, joining the mix. Dane DeHaan brings a brooding intensity to the role, adding another layer of complexity to the film's already tangled web. But here's where things get real. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 doesn't shy away from breaking our hearts. The death of Gwen Stacy is one of the boldest moves in superhero cinema. Seeing Andrew's Peter cope with this tragedy is both heartbreaking and powerful. Sadly, this Amazing Spider-Man journey came to an abrupt end due to Sony's decision to shelve the project despite having a decent fanbase. However, Andrew's raw emotional performance became iconic, solidifying his portrayal as one of the most memorable Spider-Men. Andrew gave us the most emotional Spider-Man. Flawed, hurting, but with one of the most unforgettable tragedies. Now let's swing into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tom Holland, 2016 to present, the MCU Spider-Man. In 2016, Marvel Studios decided to introduce a new Spider-Man to the MCU. Enter Tom Holland, a young and talented actor who brought a fresh perspective to the beloved character. We first meet him in Captain America, Civil War, where he steals the show. Tom's portrayal of Peter Parker is instantly endearing. He captures the essence of a teenage superhero with ease, balancing wit, charm, and vulnerability. His quips and one-liners had audiences in stitches. The chemistry between Tom and Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic, making their mentor-mentee dynamic feel so natural. They make such a great team. Then comes Spider-Man: Homecoming, which digs deeper into Peter's personal life. Set in the aftermath of the events of Civil War, the film follows Peter as he navigates the challenges of being a superhero while also trying to maintain a normal high school life. Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, is a fantastic villain who adds a unique twist to the traditional superhero narrative. The film beautifully captures the coming-of-age story, emphasizing themes of identity, responsibility, and self-discovery. It showcases Peter's growth as he learns to rely on his own skills rather than just the advanced technology provided by Tony Stark. Next up, we have Spider-Man: Far From Home. With the dust of Endgame settling, the world grapples with the aftermath of Thanos' snap. Peter decides to take a much-needed break from superhero duties and heads to Europe with his class. But as you can guess, trouble follows. Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, uses illusions to wreak havoc, targeting Spider-Man directly. Despite the danger, Peter steps up, confronting Mysterio and thwarting his plans. This journey becomes a significant turning point for Peter. He confronts his grief over Iron Man and learns to trust himself as the next big hero in the MCU. And let's not forget the moment that shattered the internet, Spider-Man: No Way Home. The film kicks off with Peter seeking help from Doctor Strange to make everyone forget he's Spider-Man. But as we know, spells can go awry. The multiverse goes haywire and villains from alternate universes arrive. Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Electro, all set to make their presence felt. But the biggest surprise, the return of two former Spider-Men, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. The emotional impact of this reunion is off the charts. Each Spider-Man brings his unique style and experience to the table. They unite, strategize, and ultimately team up to face the villains. The film reaches a fever pitch with a heartbreaking goodbye to Aunt May, a pivotal character who has been there for Peter since the beginning. The final twist, Peter chooses to sacrifice his relationship with MJ and Ned so that everyone forgets he's Spider-Man. The ending mirrors the iconic first film, but with a new twist. Peter is broke, alone, but determined to put on the suit again. It's a satisfying conclusion to his character arc, reminding us why Spider-Man will always be the world's most beloved hero. Tom's journey was about legacy, from Tony's protege to finally becoming his own Spider-Man. 3 actors, 3 different journeys, 1 Spider-Man legacy. Tobey gave us responsibility, Andrew gave us pain, and Tom brought us growth. Together they reminded us why Spider-Man is the world's favorite hero. So tell me, who is your Spider-Man? Thanks for watching.